Hello, welcome to Pims R4 Cost Management Product Presentation. Pims Cost Management contains the main modules Project Control Basis, Contracts Management, Change Management, and Personnel. All these modules can be implemented either simultaneously on your project and provide the full benefits for controlling of your project costs, but also additional modules can be added during the cycle of your project. The main modules are, as I mentioned, Project Control Basis, and it has the following features. You can maintain your WBS structure and define the WBS structure for the project, as well as other alternative structures. The Project Estimate Register you can maintain at any level required, time phasing of your estimate, cost and progress reporting, earned value management, owner split, finance and budgeting, baseline management, tracking of project milestones, and cost portfolios. Contracts Management module has the following key features. You can control of your contracts commitments and forecast, reporting of contracts cost and progress status, contractors baseline management, archiving capabilities, cash call control, tracking of contract milestones, and tracking of variation order requests. In the Change Management module, you are able to control different types of changes and basically tracking your changes to the project estimate and or contracts. There is also a built-in tool for contingency management, which is connected with the Project Control Basis module, where you can define your contingency levels for your project and monitor the contingency drawdown. And Personnel module, where you can do your resource planning for your project, and then control of your forecasts of your resources versus approved budgets, control of travel and other costs, archiving capabilities, and can be linked to contracts and WBS structure. Across all modules in Pims Cost Management, we have an extensive reporting capabilities in the form of dashboards, PDF reports, pivot reports, and also possibility to implement Power BI interface. The workflows can be enabled per project for controlling of processes such as reporting cycle or month end, baseline update, contract awards, variation order requests, variation order approvals, and cost changes. These workflows will ensure that the parties involved in these processes will be notified in time and then sign off on their actions during the process. All our products are interface friendly. Pims Cost Management especially is friendly with the Primavera interface, SAP, Microsoft Project, etc. So the scheduling information can be fetched from such system as Primavera, for example, and that information can be utilized in the Project Control Basis or Contract Management module to update the milestones, project milestones or contract milestones, as well as the current progress and also the activities, the start and finish days for different activities. An SAP interface is most commonly used to update your commitments and commitments register of the Contracts Management module and also update your actual costs. Importing from Microsoft Excel is easy across all applications. Also, our product supports cross-project reporting, either in the form of establishing a cost portfolio from different projects or parts of the WBSs from different projects, or just including several projects in one portfolio. So what does it take to start up a project in Pims Cost Management system? It's pretty simple. You need to go through some steps in order to do that. So the first step would be to configure your project, and that involves configuring project durations, reporting interval, or we call it cutoff type, which can be a month less Sunday, month less day, weekly reporting. The project currency, in which currency the project costs are going to be reported, and exchange rates if several currencies are used on the projects, for example, maintaining your contract register in different currencies, but still, in order to be able to report it all in the project currency, you need to establish exchange rates. So the second step would be to establish your WBS structure, configuring the numbering scheme. Also, you can add unlimited number of alternative structures for your custom reporting purposes. And also, we have an ability to include standard coding structures such as NORSOC standard, for example. which can be maintained either on the WBS level or the estimate line item level. So the next step then involves entering the estimate register into the system, mapping it to the WBS structure, then defining your contingency levels. And if you have at that time already the information, let's say when you're starting up a project, you have your contracts commitments register or contracts forecast information available, and also your resource planning information, it's very beneficial to right away also get it into Pims, because when establishing the first baseline, you will have that information, you will be able to compare and provide deviations on a very detailed level. However, this is not compulsory. If you don't have that, you can start off the project pretty simple. We've just entered the WebS structure, your estimate, and then you need to time phase it. So time phasing, there are different options in Pims cost management system to do the time phasing. You can of course utilize the importing tool. The import tool we have is across all applications in Pims cost management, where it involves phasing data, and based on your permissions you'll be able to import the mass inputs into the system seamlessly, and it works very fast. So you can also do the time phasing manually or using the standard profiles. I'm going to show you how the standard profiles look as well. And after you're ready with the time phasing, so basically you know what your curve is like, both cost and progress wise, and you then can report against that. So that means you need to approve the baseline basically in the system. And initial baseline basically established, and also it is possible to do rebaseline at any point in time, and previous baselines will be archived for reporting purposes in the system automatically. Here are the following steps you would need to go through on the project in order to complete your monthly cycles, reporting cycles. So the first step would involve updating your commitments register, and that of course can happen either through the interface from an SAP system or other ERP system you have on the project. You can of course update it manually, so cost engineers can update manually different big EPC contracts, for example, in the contracts register, or and also they would need to process the variation order requests which are which have been approved, so that information needs to be reflected of course in Pims as well. So the next step would be updating your actual and progress information. So it can happen as well via the interface from an SAP system or similar. You would need to be able to calculate the progress in Pims, so the progress measurement functionality is included as well in the product, or you can import the progress as well from a system like Primavera interface, for example. The next thing you would need to do during the reporting cycle, you would need to find time, of course, to manage your changes. And the module which helps you to do that is the change management, which can either be a workflow-based methodology or a simple register as well. So you would need to update the change register, process approved changes to the control estimate, maintain your pending changes as well, and maintain your contingency drawdowns levels and monitor that as well. So after all of that information you have, you can then leverage the EVM and cost performance data and focus on the forecasting. You would also need to maintain other potential growth and trend register elements, either through the contracts in the form of, let's say, variation order requests from contractor, which is still pending. Also, a potential interface here could be established with a risk management product, where you can import the risks and quantify them in terms of cost values as well. What's the cost impact of the risks and potential trends? And when you're ready with all of that, you can start, of course, reviewing the reports you have within the system by using the drill down reports and dashboards, the Power BI reports, if you have a Power BI interface with Pims, monthly reports or pivot reports too. Another view how you can look at what Pims cost management system is capable of maintaining could be represented with the graph here. So basically the solid line there represents the baseline you set for your project. Of course the contingency is included in there, but the base cost based approved budget is basically that solid line. The commitments, original commitments, your originally signed contracts, POs, as well as the approved variation orders or executed options during each reporting cycle will be processed in that bar, in the second bar which you have, which will contribute to the total commitment value of your project. And also you would be able to maintain the actuals, for example, as I mentioned, the interface before from an SAP system, importing all your values by POs, by contracts, etc. So the change management is then responsible for mainly the parts reflected here, the approved changes, the pending changes, the risks as well can be maintained, trends, and of course the contingency drawdown levels. So as you can see here, risks can be imported from a risk management module, for example. The other growth elements contributing to the total base forecast of your project is the VORs, other pending growth elements, trends, and of course utilizing, leveraging the EVM information, you can also update your forecast based on that. Personnel module, if you're using personnel for resource planning, will be constantly updated during the month and provide you also a better forecast details on each position, which can be then implemented into the project estimate as well for each reporting cycle, reporting period. That allows you, having all of that information again, that allows you to focus more on the total base forecast for your project, as well as the total forecast, including your contingency, basically the total value, how much it's going to cost you to complete the project. If we look at that and we start to slice and dice that information, basically Pims will provide a capability of, through the reporting, to summarize all of that information by WebS, CBS, any alternative structure available in the system, contracts, vendor information. Further down the road, you can then split that information by period, year or quarter, and analyze that in that view. And also you can then of course summarize all of that information by project, portfolio, or owner split. As well, in all of the reports, pivot reports, dashboards, you can utilize the other metadata available in each module. So that's basically the capabilities of our Pims cost management system. Thank you for listening. Please follow our channel for more updates on the product as well, on new features, as well as the docs.omega365.com website, where we also provide the release notes for each release on a monthly basis, what's new in the system. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.